Welcome back to the Power Up with Keith Withrow show as we continue the discussion on dating outside our race. Let's jump back in.
Okay, so give me an example of what makes the woman the enemy. What is it that she can say? What level of disrespect is conveyed that makes the man go, you know what, this woman.
Okay. Say you're a guy like me. Mm-hmm. And even though you going through different stages in life, you were in different lanes along the way. Mm-hmm. But in every lane, you always took care of the mortgage and like all the main bills in your household. Because that's the way I was raised.
Okay.
And then maybe one time when you were in like the biggest fight that you could be in life. Mm-hmm. Life has hit you in the mouth. Mm-hmm. And you're struggling. And your wife maybe had to help you pay the mortgage once, right?
Right.
And they know that that's a big deal to you, that you take care of your family. You might have a bunch of flaws, but that's the one thing you can hold on to that they can't say nothing about that.
Right.
When I lay in my casket, they cannot say that this man was not a provider and this man did not take care of the people around him and he cared about. Mm-hmm. And then when you get in an argument or something, they say that I had to pay the mortgage, nigga. You ain't had the money for the mortgage, nigga. Like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Really?
So here's the
One
thing.
time you helped and I got to hear that.
Right.
Now, okay, I can't trust you.
Right.
Because now I know if I really needed you, I ain't gonna never hear the end of it. Like, what if you did have to pay the mortgage for 3 or 4 months while we go through this storm? That's the reason why I've always paid it, so you can stack your paper up or have you something left to the side for the emergency fund while you're navigating through, you're in different lanes as you go along.
So this brings me to another question, right? And I want you to think about this before you answer. Do most men feel like being a man means that they're exempt from being human?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's a major problem with us. Because you know why? Our community don't expect for us to be human. It's like we're supposed to be some superhuman species. Because that's why we won't show emotion. I've said it before. What's our default emotion? Anger. You're confused, you get angry. You're hurt, you get angry. You get most of the stuff that's on the negative side of the spectrum, you play it out through anger. That's the one emotion that seems like that's acceptable for us.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think
we're not taught growing up. I hate to say this, and this is gonna sound bad, but you see like the white families, not all of them, but some of them, and you see them, and they're all like, "Oh, it's okay, John boy," dad's talking or mom's talking, and they're like teaching them that it's okay to like have emotions. You know what I'm saying? But we're taught. Like, I had a whooping, you done beat my ass, and you telling me to shut up and stop crying. So now I'm sitting on the sofa like this, trying to hold the cry back. But you just beat my ass, and my feelings are hurt. Because I got the whooping, even though I deserved it. Right? But I'm a kid, and I'm trying to, so don't be weak, don't cry. Wipe your tears, be a little soldier, roll your shoulders back.
Now I'm going to really come at you.
So now you talk like, okay, so now you start trying to be vulnerable, and then some chicks be like, oh, you this old bitch, something like that.
So that's what I was going to get at. So
like, wait a minute, I gotta be a bitch because I tried to show you some emotion.
Do you feel like black women are more susceptible to kick you when you're down?
Yes.
Than women outside of our race?
Because they use whatever ammunition they have. If we in this room and there's nothing in this room but this table, and you're beating my ass, I'm gonna pick up this table and use it. So people use what they have available. So, okay, in most cases, a woman can't beat a man physically.
Correct.
Even if the woman is bigger than the man, usually
Correct. She don't have the
she's
strength.
not supposed to be able to beat a man.
Right.
Right. But what does a woman have? That mouth.
That mouth.
So women can weaponize and say some real hardcore stuff. And that's a big lie that was told. That sticks and stones may break my bones, but words and everything, that was a lie. And whoever made that up is a liar. Because words, you can't take back. Especially when they come from people that you deem, that you respect. That's why fathers and mothers have to be careful what comes out of their mouths to their children. Because that stuff doesn't go away.
It's a longer scar.
In the back of your mind.
Deeper scar.
Always you hear that voice that somebody told you, I got a good friend. And I hope you don't mind me saying, my best friend. He had, and not just him, some of his other medical colleagues went to a certain medical school. And there was his teacher. Well, no, this is before medical school. I don't know where. Either in college, pre-med, or whatever. It was this one instructor that told them that they could never be doctors, right? But they both became doctors, and they both became very good doctors. But they still talk about it. I've heard them talk about it on several occasions. So it lets me know that that's stuck in their mind. That this person said they were not capable of becoming a physician. The fact that I met these guys when they were in their 50s, and they're still talking about it, and they've been doctors since their 20s, lets you know that that thing stuck with them. Mm-hmm. So words do hurt. Words do scar. And women use those words. They say some hell of a stuff.
But what do you feel like women outside of our race don't? Do you feel like that's one of the definitive means that makes black men look at black women differently?
I'm going to tell you, in most cases, Torre, I hate to say it now, see, there's a lot to go with this, though. Because there's different economic structures. Mm-hmm. Was it a middle class? When we talk about other people, you know, because other people can be rock gut worse than, you know, rock bottom of the bottom, or, you know. Yeah. So it just depends. Mm-hmm. With all different people with social classes. But when you talk
to most black men, is it the way that black
Fly
women
mouth.
speak?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a known fact.
You mean to tell me, Keith?
But I know everybody does it.
That a white woman and a Latina woman can't get down.
Yes, I know they can, but I'm going to tell you something. I've asked these questions.
Okay.
I've asked these questions. And like, I have some really good friends that are Spanish, and I asked them about some of the stuff, and they said they women talk, you know, can get on their nerves too, but they just won't push the envelope as far as like a black woman. And I understand why. I'm not blaming it all on the black woman. I'm saying that they have been, man, let's look at what all they've been through. Like, that's a lie too. We all did not come here as slaves. That's a lie.
Correct.
It's a lie. It's been formulated to make everybody think
but the majority
that we
of us
came
here,
from change.
But the majority,
so a lot of us did come,
mm-hmm.
but there were people were here. There were some people that were here in the Americas that were of color,
right,
previous to the slave trade. Okay, right. But let's go back to the ones that were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at what happened. Families got broken up. Women were taken. People were raping them, taking their babies away, doing all sorts of inhumane things. Okay? And then, you know, we progress out of that. And then we get into the next thing where, you know, they say it was chauvinistic style households where the men used to beat their wives. The black men used to beat their wives because nobody showed the black man respect. So he demanded his respect in his house any way he could get it. He wasn't taught to use those other emotions. He wasn't taught to verbalize. So a lot of times they would result to
Anger.
force and anger.
Aggression.
Right? So then they progress out of that. I'm not mad at women. I love black women. I love my mother. I love black women. I love my wife. I love black women. I do. I've never dated someone outside of my race. But I've been married most of my life, my adult life. I've interacted with them, but I've never said if something were to happen that I wouldn't. Because I always said I probably would kind of like to have somebody who was brought up in the culture, who was taught to not say crazy stuff to their husband, who was taught to like be into like making sure I'm good emotionally or whatever that is. And I didn't have to like go through like some of the stuff that we go through. But look, the bottom of the line, the bottom of the barrel, look, listen, we're all products of stuff that has happened. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I think us as a people, let's look at us as a people. 400 years. Look at how we were handled. Right? Mm-hmm. We're all traumatized. And we weren't taught. We're just now starting to like have information. The one good thing that has come from social media or from the internet being around is that you can learn things. You can Google stuff. You can find things out. You can research stuff. You can get different perspectives where we couldn't when we were little.
Correct.
Right? Other than like reading a book or something, or like going to some sort of a publication or visiting somebody or something. But the thing is that we're just now getting information to where, okay, it's all right to cry. I cry. I might sit here and start thinking about my mom right now, and I probably would, but I would probably start crying. Okay? When I get happy, meaning when I'm spiritually happy, when the spirit comes over me and I feel the Lord's presence on me, that's how I show it. I cry. So I have no problem with crying. I don't look at another man as weak if they cried. Maybe it depends on what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? If we in the heat of battle and you bust out and start crying now, come on, bruh. You know. But I'm just saying, we're not taught, both of us, meaning black men and women, I just don't think we were taught. We've been abused. We've been put in a bad scenario.
But I also feel like we are a reflection of what this country has pictured us as.
That was a plan.
So this country tells all other races, all other nationalities, the black folks are the villain. The black folks are dirty, ignorant. And so instead of us coming together and saying to hell with what the masses say, we are picking each other apart based off what the masses say. Right. We get embarrassed about how we act. We get embarrassed about each other. We point the finger. We're doing this rather than saying, you know what, like, come hell or high water. If I'm in the trenches, I want to be in the trenches with somebody like me, right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
You see what I'm saying? So why is it that as much as we've been through, we should be rallying each other?
We've been ingrained in us, Tori. You know
What'd you say?
Jim Crow. It worked.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at, though. So what I'm saying is, all we are doing is reflecting and regurgitating what's been modeled by the mainstream. Now, go a little deeper. Not deeper, but the men that you talk to, because I have my own theory about this.
Okay.
The men that you talk to and what you see and what you believe. Black men that don't date black women, how much of it is about our actual physical appearance? The way that we look.
I've heard that. And it's not the black women's fault again in a lot of cases. They have self-esteem issues a lot of times. Look at what we were taught that was pretty. Didn't look like us. Even though everybody's trying to mimic our black women now to try to be pretty. We setting the standard and don't even know it. But we're taught. So, okay, The problem is, okay, it's all, here we go again, economics and stuff. Our black women are overweight. I mean, I'm overweight now myself. Black people as a people are well, America's overweight for one. Mm-hmm. But the black women aren't keeping themselves up. And so a lot of guys say the black women are letting themselves go. They don't keep themselves up. Well, okay, it costs money to keep yourself up. It costs money to get the good food. It costs money to go to the gym. You got to have time to go to the gym.
You got to have
resources to go to the gym.
You got to have depression off of you to even do that.
Right. So all of that has something to do with it.
Right.
You got to raise your kids and stuff. You don't have no, you talking about working out. Like, you got to put food on the table.
But you also don't feel like black men have been conditioned to think that black women just aren't naturally beautiful too. Like, if you took, because
some men, I think, now that's where I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay.
The problem is this. I just heard it today. The guy was saying, something I was looking. He was saying he likes women. He likes a black woman to be as natural as they can be. Nobody's saying not put a little makeup on or something, but it's gone too far. Like fake this, fake that. Mm-hmm. Everything fake. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, when you take it too far, with going too much on the visual, your body, your breast, your butt, and all that, and you going to get all this stuff done. I hate to say this, ladies. Yeah, you get a lot of attention. Yeah, you get a lot of cats come at you. But a lot of times the way you carry yourself and the way you look with all the stuff that you've done, you put yourself in a category and you didn't even know it. You just put yourself in the fun girl spot.
Speak on it.
Okay. What does that mean? Sorry, bros. I'm blowing up some of y'all's game. When a woman put herself in the fun girl spot, you seen the girls. They fine as I don't know what. All the dudes is checking for them. They all on Instagram. They looking good. They in the gym. They bad. They banging. Okay? Some of them got fake stuff. Some of them don't. I don't mind if a woman enhances herself, a little bit. But don't take it too far. All right? So once you get yourself in the fun girl spot, the guys, this is the deal. The guys will come on like they're very interested in you. All they're doing is learning you enough to get to what they want. Then once they get what they want, they're going to exploit you to take you as far as they want to take you, to get you to do as much stuff as they can get you to do. Right? And then once they have explored you and they've had you in every way that they want to have you, then you're off back out to the pasture. And this keeps happening over and over and over and over again. To now you're 40 years old and you've been run through. Your body count is up here. Your body has been ran through. You done had all kind of spirits you done been with. Dudes done ran through you. Now you talking about you want to get a high value dude. What high value dude want a chick that if he take you out, half the dudes in the room done probably done been with you? No high value dude, even though everybody knows in today's times you've been with somebody. But it gets to the point where if everywhere you go, you run into somebody that been in your woman, that's not a cool feeling. Okay? So I'm telling y'all, maybe some of y'all might just want to stay single because you're not going to get anybody to marry you. Unless he's a certain kind of dude who don't really care about that. And that's not many. Mm-hmm. Not ones that are high value guys. Nobody wants their children's mother that was a whore. I'm just saying. No, it sounds rough. So you should really see the whole thing is people don't know their value.
I agree.
If everybody knew their value, this would not be going on. Okay? So it's out of control at this point. And it was all a plan. Look at what's being promoted by the record labels and the movies. Look at what's been put. Listen, I was listening to 107 on the way here, and I was listening to some of these female. The stuff that they're saying is ridiculous. Like, it's out of control talking about themselves and the stuff that they do. Like, they're trying to be dudes. So don't get mad. So I guess I guess you're right. You can't want to be in a relationship with a decent man and you're off doing all this and telling everybody about it. What dude would want to? You will be a fun girl. All you're going to be good for is to hang out with, drink with, sleep with.
So here's the thing with the female rappers. I think this is a great little segue too. Initially, when Nicki Minaj and, Cardi B and all of them came out, it went from a little salacious to now it's just wide open. You say and do anything.
Right.
A lot of women's position is men have their gimmicks to make money.
So
these women have made their gimmicks.
Right.
My problem with it, and I mean, some of the ratchet rap I listen to, I work out to.
I like the beats too. Oh yeah.
But when we start to talk again about community, do you understand the impact that you're making on these young women?
Yes.
That think that my body is transactional.
Yes.
Right? It works for the stage. It works for record sales.
Yes.
But when you start talking about your body being the vessel or being the thing that you use to monetize yourself.
Right.
To make yourself of value. Now we have a different conversation going on.
Right.
Because there needs to be balance.
Right.
Right. The whole thing with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. When I read editorials and comments about it, and this is what I want women to understand. When you play a man's game, you will never win, because a man can go walk down the street butt naked. They're going to say, look at that fool in the street. And they're going to go on about their business. It'll make headlines. It won't even make headlines. It'll make a small little piece in the grand scheme of a newspaper.
Right.
But when a woman does that,
right,
it is over sensationalized because the world holds women to a different standard.
Yeah, you're the one who carries, you have a womb.
And so
you carry life.
That may sound old school.
Right.
But it's fact. The way that she was dragged, and the way that people basically were backing Tory and saying, oh, he should have shot her, or he didn't really, it was so much around protecting him and ostracizing her. But she was victimized in the situation. She was greatly victimized in it. But all of this speaks to me that because we don't have structure in gender, and I'm sorry, gender is a fact.
Yes.
We can play with the words all we want to, but society has become slanted because we want gender to be so flexible. And in the flexibility, we lose the structure. We lose the foundation of our community.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when women look at, okay, I can do what a man does. Yes, you can, but to what detriment? Right? And I'm sorry, and a lot of women may kill me for saying this. I have no problem submitting to a man. It's just got to be the right man.
There you go.
It's got to be the man that I know is going to take care of me.
And you can trust to be in that position. Not everybody deserves that right to be submitted to.
I don't care if you want to look at relationships like a corporation, there's only one head.
That's right.
I don't give a damn what
you can have a board of directors
is. You can have all of these people that have voting power, but there's always going to be that one person.
That's right.
That is the final say.
That's right.
And so in relationships, men and women really need to understand in our community.
That's order.
Order. And it doesn't even have to necessarily mean that the man is the head. You might be in a situation where the woman is the breadwinner and the husband says, I really want to raise kids. I want to be at home. Okay, but let's have structure around it. Let's have order around it. So the crux of all of this for me is, and this is my bottom line. This will never change until we start treating each other like human beings and not men and women.
Yeah.
If I can look at you and say, yes, you are my husband,
Right.
but you are a human being
Right.
before you were my husband,
Right.
which means I will treat you out of respect as a human being the same way I want to be treated as a human being out of respect. If we can get to that level, then we can rebuild this situation. But we're tearing each other down now and have this sense of despise or disdain because we don't see the human experience anymore.
Well, Torre, there's a couple of things that can be done about it. You and I both don't like what we see, right? We both have platforms where we're trying to do our part to make it. I've always believed if you don't like what you see, if you don't like something, then do something about it.
Do something about it.
Well, this is the way we do something about it. But it needs to be just a harder charge in getting this information out as it is for a woman that say it's cool to have her vagina have all kind of smells and diseases and think it's good to talk about on a song. This stuff is going on. That one girl was one of them female rappers.
Is it Glorilla,
No,
Lotto,
wasn't her.
Megan?
No, that was the one of them. Did
Oh,
it.
it's
Everybody
probably
know what I'm
is
talking
it
about
Sexy
on it.
Red?
Her. Disgusting. So all I'm saying is, it needs to be, okay, this is a whole different show to talk about this. Because there's a certain group of people that's pushing that. And I'm not going to say it now.
Yeah.
But if anybody who's done any reading, who's aware, who do any research, there's a certain group of people who own all the outlets that push all this stuff. And if you know anything about it's all goes back to everything we talked about. It goes back to two simple things. There's politics, everything. It goes to two things, which really one. The struggle between good and evil.
Absolutely.
And there's a whole agenda that's pushing evil through a lot of different ways. And a lot of this binary stuff, transgender stuff, goes back to stuff long ago. Baal worship, Baphomet worship, whole different show. But there's a lot of people who've been worshiping that. And a lot of people saying they worship the Lord is not talking about the same Lord all the time. Now, that's a whole different show. That's real deep. But I'm just saying the fight is that. Now, what was some of the things that kept people kind of in line? Now, I just came back from Williamsburg, and it's a lot of information to be found and researched and seen in Williamsburg. I seen churches that was set up by the Europeans to teach little Negro kids the Bible, but it really was just teaching them a slanted teaching of the
Absolutely,
Bible.
whitewash.
To keep them whitewashed and to keep them under control and to learn that it's by nature that they're supposed to worship a person who has a pale skin, right? However, there needs to be a push made by people like you and I and a lot of other people to get information out, create forums, have dialect, have segments and information to where you're discussing this stuff. See, when people have gotten away from church, when we were people who were into spirituality.
Yes.
I didn't want to say religion because
Right.
that's another whole subject.
Uh-huh.
You at least had some boundaries and some kind of guidelines to go by, right? But when everyone has gotten out of that kind of sorta, and they're not even like there are no guidelines. There's no backstop. The backstops are gone, right? So when you take all the backstops out, everything's just free will. There's nothing to stop the flood from coming in. The levees have been broken. Okay? So what needs to happen? What needs to happen is it needs to be, and see, but it's not designed for what we want. Because if you read the Bible, the one that we've been given, I'm going to get me a copy of the Ethiopian Bible.
Mine's coming. I already bought mine. Mine's in the mail.
Right.
Mine is in the mail.
We've got the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, we've got
the Bible.
We have the edited version.
Heavily edited.
But
right?
But I think too what you're saying, Keith, is if we knew who we were as a people, so we don't know who we are. So since we don't know who we are
as a people,
we are responding to what other people say
are telling us we are.
Thank you, and that is why we have this internal fight.
We think we all came from nothing. We're all come from slaves. We were all just running around in the jungle butt naked, way behind it with civilization. That's not true. So you're right. The narrative has been changed and it's working. All of it was a plan, and the plan is working. But the sad part is that there's not going to be a big push to correct this. Because if I've read Revelation, I've read what goes on at the end. And we're headed towards that.
Absolutely. We in
right?
it. We in it.
But I'm going to tell you how we can make a difference, though. It's a grassroots campaign. And you start in your house. See, your daughters, I know your daughters. They can listen to whatever sex you read and then whatever say. But that don't mean that they going to believe they ain't going for it.
They were raised in
the
word.
So if you can have your children, like I'm going to use me for instance. I was raised in a household. My parents weren't into drugs. They weren't even into drinking that much. Mm-hmm. So everybody who tried to offer me weed to smoke, drugs to take, cocaine to snort, because of the way I was raised and the backstops that I have in my mind, I never tried coke. I tried weed once. Well, twice. But I know it's not for me.
Yeah.
You can convince me, you can sit here with weed, smoke your weed all day. I don't care. It don't bother me because that's something I've got that backstop in me that I'm not going to do it. See, that's what that's what we're missing now. See,
no limits.
The gloves are off. This is free willing.
No limits.
There's no limit soldiers. No limit soldiers. Here comes the tank. So my point is, only way we can stop it, only way we can make a difference is start with our own kids. Start with the people around us.
Start with our own communities. And
then that will feed into the community. And if you can change that one person at a time.
But my concern is
grassroots.
Will they listen? Because here's the thing.
They won't listen.
Life is about modeling. Like you say, life imitates art. Well, if you haven't been modeled this, most of what the conversation we're having, Gen Z will look at us and be like,
they're going to turn. They're not going to listen to this.
But this is what.
Look at them old heads don't know nothing,
you see what happened with and Club Shay Shay, right? All right, and see that's me getting back to the crux at hand here.
Now, come on, man.
Let me say this. My point in bringing black men with black women is this: a black man and a black woman a black man and a black woman creates a black family. A black family creates a powerful community. A powerful community creates a powerful country. We have got to change our mindset about one another so that we matter. The reason the politics and everything that's going on in this world doesn't give a damn about us is because we don't give a damn about us.
Right.
So until we decide to see each other as human beings and stop seeing each other as adversaries, which was part of the plan.
It's part of the plan.
We're getting nowhere.
Right.
We're breaking up our homes.
Going worse.
We're breaking up our finances.
Yes.
And we're breaking up our power.
Yes.
Our effectiveness.
We're not nowhere where we were in the 60s.
Nowhere are we.
No.
We're nowhere where we were in the 80s.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So if we don't understand and dial back quickly, we're going to be a bunch of individual people of color. That's it. We won't be a fist. We'll be a divided hand. Period.
One of the main things in warfare, ancient warfare, get rid of the man, divide the family. You can take care of the man. You can take the women and children, and you can do anything you want to do with them. Mm-hmm. You can take them and make them slaves. You can take them and integrate them into your community. You can do anything you want.
Convert them over.
You can convert them over.
It's over.
So that's the truth. That's some real talk. So guess what? We have, and you all that are listening out there, this is the charge. We got to make a difference. First of all, everybody needs to understand their self-worth. Like Jesse Jackson said, you are somebody. And that is true. You are somebody. And we're going to get into some episodes a little later where we can show you some areas with DNA. Yeah, it ain't just rumors or conspiracy theories.
Fact.
No. Facts to let you know who you are and what your bloodline is. Okay? Mm-hmm. Not to say that any of the other bloodlines, you just need to know who you are.
Thank you.
Okay? Now, we just have to take the charge to do better. Respect one another. I've done a show on Am I My Brother's Keeper? Tearing each other down. You see one trying to come up, trying to do something in the community. You come try to tear him down because you jealous. Because he might have one more automobile more than you may have. The house may be a little bit better than what. You know what? Instead of coming against that man, why don't you
find out what he did?
Find out what he did, or line up with the person. Align yourself. You know, you can be blessed by aligning yourself. Okay, if the Lord has blessed a particular person, do you know? I'm talking to the audience. Do you know if you come against that person, you might bring on some unnecessary burdens on yourself, because the Lord is choosing to bless that person for a particular mission. You come against that mission, ain't no telling what could happen to you. You might leave here. But I'm going to tell you something. If you align yourself with that person and work along, you will get that collateral. Instead of getting collateral damage, you will get that collateral blessing. And you can be blessed as well.
That's a word.
Why would you go and cut your own throat for no reason? Because you jealous of somebody. People of color, who I'm talking to right now, stop being jealous of one another. Yes. Start lifting each other up. Support one another. Everybody can make it. You're a blessed people. You're tearing each other down. I've said it before on some of the shows on prior episodes. I hate to say this. I've had very few times that a person that don't look like me that came against me to try to hurt me. But I've had a lot of experience with people who look like me who come after me and they want to destroy me. And some of them has told me that out of their own mouths. And I ask them why, and they say they don't know. That is a spirit. And that is partly Jim Crow. That is still in us today, where we're taught to hate each other. Yes. The light against the dark, the young against the old, the men against the women. All of that was by design.
By design.
Don't fall for it. So guess what? We are going to do our part.
And let me just piggyback off that real quick, Keith.
Yes.
The people that are listening to this that are trying to figure out, like, where can I start? How do I shift this? Mm-hmm. It shifts in what you focus on. Mm-hmm. If we continue to look at what's wrong with each other rather than what's right,
yes,
then it's going to continue to spiral out into a negative response and a negative result.
Yes.
We got to start looking at the beauty of our culture.
I've had some beautiful black women in my life that has got me where I'm at. I've got beautiful black women have helped me get to where I'm at to this day.
We've got to look at the beauty. When we look at couples like Jalen Hurt and his new wife, and Russell Wilson and Sierra, and we look at these couples and we're in awe of them, but when you get to the essence of what brought them together, there was similarity, there was congruence, there was spirituality, and there was a sense of knowing themselves. Yeah. You don't know that much about yourself if you constantly got to tear down somebody else. Because the human condition makes you want to connect and empathize with somebody else's human condition.
Wow.
So when you are constantly tearing somebody down or picking somebody apart, you need to do a reality check and an internal check. Because 9 times out of 10, there's some self-hate or there's some self-loathing going on inside yourself that you're projecting outwardly to this person.
Hurt people, hurt other people.
Hurt people. So we have got to become more humanistic
Yes.
and less focused on male, female, and this whole deterioration of our inability to communicate. So,
hey, I'm right here. I'm a black man. God has been good to me. Been good to Torre and her family. I've got beautiful black women in my life. I'll tell you that right now. My wife, my mother, bless her soul, Torre. She's one of the reasons why I'm here. I've gone through pure hell. I could talk to her. I've talked about things about in confidence and discussed it with her. Hey, man, this whole thing is we're just giving a perspective of what's going on for some people. But I, as well as a lot of other men, know a good thing when they see it. And you know what? I love our black women. And I think we all deserve one another in our best form. In our best form, we deserve one another. Because I'm going to tell you something. And we're going to talk about it in some later episodes. When you get together and you have that strong family unit,
ain't nothing like it.
There's nothing like it.
Ain't nothing like it.
There's nothing like that spiritual black love when you all together and you understand that you have a spiritual relationship with your maker and with your wife and your children. There's nothing that can stop you. And if that community is on that same page, we've heard about some of those communities that were destroyed. Mm-hmm. And a lot of other ones that existed that were destroyed that we haven't heard so much about, that haven't gotten the publicity. The Oklahomas, the Tulsas, the Rosewoods. There was a community in Detroit. There was one in Atlanta. There was one in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. There were one in pretty much every state and everything. It was everywhere. So just know that this plan cannot continue to go on. People saying they're woke. Be awake. Do your research.
Thank you. Know who you are.
Know who you are. Take some time. Oh, man, I got to say this. And I know some people that are in that industry, and this is no crack on you, but stop spending so much time looking at the debauchery that is issued for us to see. You got shows now that have left from just people being housewives. Now, there's shows with professional people of color, which were held in high regard.
Yes.
Showing them in their worst light.
Yes.
In other words, now it's I don't care how much education you get. I don't care how much money. These people are living in mansions, have educations, have great businesses, are great professionals at what they do, and good people, but they're showing out and calling each other out of their names, fighting and acting a fool for all to see, for monetization.
For the check.
Take your time and don't feed into that. Stop looking at it.
Stop selling your soul.
Take that same amount of time. Go and research and go look at you some videos and learn about your people. Learn about who you are. Start figuring out and learning, because the information is out there to get. Start figuring out and seeing how we even got to this point. Mm-hmm. Start taking that 30 minutes, that hour that you watching that all that crazy debauchery. Okay, if you're on your phone going through Instagram and all that, if you start, the algorithm will also pick up if you start looking at some stuff where you start doing some research. And then now you start getting on the news feed as it relates to that positive stuff, right? I challenge you. And I guarantee you, your eyes will begin to open, your ears will begin to hear, and your eyes will begin to see some things, and it will start to make you a different person. With that being said, I think this was an absolute great episode. And I just want to say that we'll be back with some more information as it relates to things that our people are struggling with as a whole. And we're going to do our part to make a change. Thank you for being with PowerUP with Keith Withrow. Thank you so much, Torre, my sister, sister. Hey man, thank you for watching. And PowerUP, we love you.
We love you.
The Power Up with Keith Withrow Show is sponsored by Motor Coach Consulting International. Excellence in ground transportation.